Hello, lost souls. My name is Nyla, and I will be your guide through the abyss. Well, this is actually the second time I will be making this video because I, for some reason, unconsciously deleted the original video that was fully edited. Um, some entity is some kind of spirit really doesn't want you guys to receive this message, but I'm going to um, get this message out to you after I lower the screen brightness so the glare isn't in my glasses. But yeah, I'm going to get this message out to you if it takes me 20 times, if it takes me, 500 times. I think this message is important, and who knows, maybe Spirit might be testing my uh loyalty or my, oh, what's the word? I I can't think of the word. It was there, but and then it was gone. But anyway, uh, commitment. Spirit might be testing my commitment to this whole YouTube thing. So with that in mind, we're going to continue. Um, and today I have two topics that I actually want to talk to you about. Which is kind of ironic because will be the second time that I'm filming this video. The number two seems to be significant with this video in particular. So, the first thing that I want to discuss with you guys is dream state. The dream state. The dream state is incredibly versatile. Um, it does a whole lot for you. In the dream state, you can lucid dream, and you can go on oh, excuse me, and you can go on a journey to wherever you want in the world. Lucid dreaming is amazing for going on journeys to your to ancient uh, uh, ancestral villages and just just ancient places all around the earth. Whether that be Japan or um, you know, Mongolia or wherever, you feel drawn to go and to explore. But don't have the money to go and do that, right? Um, the dream state can be used for dream work, for shadow work. Uh, you can get a lot of good out of using the dream state for shadow work. I know that in the past, I've had dreams where that were focused on relationship issues. Right? There was this girl that I used to have a slight crush on, but you know, I would never actually, ask her out or anything like that. Um, I always felt as though it would be really weird. And I had this dream where I'm in this huge crowd of people and I'm trying to get to her because she's standing on um this platform type of thing where it had a display up, and I'm trying to get to her, but this crowd of people is just pushing me further and further away, you know, to the point where I can't see her anymore, and then she's just gone. And that dream being the way that it was made me realize that I kind of, I missed my shot. I missed the possible connection that could have been by being afraid to ask her, to ask her out to just go and do it. So the dream state is amazing for shadow work. Um, it's also amazing for accessing the um past lives. It's great for accessing your past lives, doing past life work. It's amazing for accessing the Akashic records if you want to experience them visually. Um, yeah, it's also an amazing tool for doing inner child work, and inner work, period. It's amazing for all of those things. Sorry, I my hair is a little bit messy. It's really cold, really dry. My scalp is itchy because of how cold and dry it is. Um, so anyway, but yeah, the dream state is a very versatile tool that you have at your disposal at any point in time. Um, there are a lot of people who don't really um, use the dream state in all of its versatile uh, uses. There are a lot of people who just use the dream state for certain types of things. So like dream journaling and all of that, and that's good and all, but it's one of those things that's really really underrated as a tool for your spiritual awakening. Um, it has so many uses, and you'll probably come up with more uses for it than I've described to you right now. Because you're probably a little bit more creative than I am at this very moment. I'm kind of frustrated with myself right now because of you know me deleting that video after it had already been edited and ready to upload, and me deleting it. But that's the Matrix at work right there. They don't want you to hear this message, and they especially don't want you to awaken further or to ascend past the Matrix. The Matrix wants to keep you locked in its grasp at all times, and especially the ego and the false self wants to keep you where you are because it thinks it's protecting you. Which leads me into the second topic. Um, I was, having thoughts about these liminal space games that I find a lot of comfort in lately, and I come to the realization that these liminal spaces, the reason why I find them so comforting is from a desire to disappear into a place like that. Um, to escape from everyone and everything and it just be me, right? And that is a desire, a thought from the ego and from the false self that wants to protect me um from from the knowledge and the guidance that I can achieve by putting myself in positions that are uncomfortable, that are unnatural, that are not very fun, that are not very um, vibe, not very vibey, not very aligned with who I am and what I believe, and you know all of that. And this desire to escape this reality and disappear into these liminal spaces where things, don't make any sense, and you don't have to try to make sense of anything because it doesn't make any sense, right? There are places in these liminal space games where you can literally walk up walls, then it turns into, the ground on the other side once you've um walked up the curved wall, like a curved wall. Once you've walked up the wall to the other side, the wall that you came from, or the ground that you came from, becomes the wall on the other side, right? Defying gravity, defying reality, defying the physics of this reality. But then that leads into another topic in that you can create your reality mentally, emotionally, and physically. You already are. You create your own reality. Um, you create what happens in your life, and you have control of what happens in your life, um, by simply knowing that your thoughts and your feelings create the reality around you. And it does so, and I know that to be true because, um, being that I have ADHD, a diagnosis of ADHD, right? I used to believe that I could not do meditation, and I brought this up in a previous video. I used to believe that it was impossible for me to meditate because I had ADHD and my mind was always going to be racing and I wasn't going to be able to sit still. Um, and that's what social media was telling me. That's what the Matrix was telling me, that these things were impossible. And so because I believed that it was impossible, um, my mind created the scenario where it was impossible. My mind physically made it impossible for me to meditate because I believed it was impossible. My mind created um, a sense of racing thoughts and twitchy irritability when I was first trying to do meditation. And then something happened a little while afterwards. I came to this place, this thought, where it switched from me thinking that it was impossible to um into thinking that it is going to work for me and it will work for me. And the reason that happened was because of a channel called Healthy Gamer GG. Um, and he is a therapist who does mental health content on YouTube. Um, I'll leave his channel linked down below, so you guys can go check him out because it really helped me. But the Dr. K, as he calls himself on YouTube, um, was talking about, meditation and ADHD, and a form of meditation that works with people who have ADHD. And that really changed my perspective. I had been believing that this was impossible for me. So now that, Dr. K was telling me that there is a type of meditation that does work for ADHD people with ADHD, my mind went to, well, if there's a certain type of meditation for people with ADHD, then this idea that it's impossible for me to do any kind of meditation is just a false belief. Um, and after that, meditation became easy. It was like putting on your socks and shoes, right? It was like, just it was a breeze. It was like listening to music. It was as easy as it could possibly be because those thoughts of it being impossible had just vanished. They vanished off into the ether. Um, but yeah, your thoughts really can limit your ability to do things. But going back to the whole liminal space thing, um, if you do have those thoughts and feelings of wanting to disappear, know that um, doing, trying to leave uh, this planet, this space, this journey early will not be fulfilling for you because once you go back to source, once you go back to the all, you know, the I am, the all, the one, you're going to realize that you haven't learned what you wanted to learn. You've fallen short of the experience you wanted to have in order to gain a certain type of knowledge. And now you have to start over, and it won't be satisfying or fulfilling for you to leave early. So, don't dwell on thoughts of wanting to disappear to other places or to just disappear yourself, right? To not exist. Don't dwell on those thoughts. It's okay to have those thoughts and to dive into why those thoughts might be coming up, but it doesn't do the mind, the body, or the emotion, or the emotional, or even the true self any good, especially not the higher self any good to dwell on thoughts like that. Anyway, and if you are having those types of thoughts, my recommendation would be to seek therapy. If you can, if you have the money, you know, you can go and seek therapy. You can also go and, talk to people who care about you, who love you and care about you. You know, that's another one of another thing that I would recommend. If you're having those types of thoughts. Um, but yeah, that's going to be all for those topics. I think I've said what's needed to be said. So anyway, we will get into the reading that I had set up before I deleted that video earlier, and now I'm having to pull the cards back out and do this reading all over again. But the idea of the reading was to draw 3 cards, um, and allow spirit to um to come into the reading and speak, and then um draw an action card from the oracle. Um, so anyway, let's get into what the reading was. I'll bring the cards up for you guys so you can see them. If I can orient them the way that they were before. Anyway, the Knight of Swords, the Judgment card, and we have the Six of Cups. And when I did the reading through the book earlier, what this really came down to was that Spirit wanted you guys to know not to be so tight knit about your work situation, and your and whatever projects you have going on, to not try to cut corners, or try to rush through your work and your projects, um, to not uh, to not just and to not be so controlling over those projects, and over over um, shadow work, or um, try to not um, be around controlling people either, because controlling people can be, a really really bad situation. Yeah, as I said before, when I recorded this video previously, I was in a situation where my mom's ex-husband was a very controlling type of person. He had manic bipolar, and he was not all there in the head. He also turned out to be, gay. So him being married to a woman was not going to work out very well for him. And so, him being gay, and being a Christian, especially, he was very controlling. He wanted to make sure that we didn't out him for who he was. He wanted to maintain the image of the good Christian father. Um, right, because that's what Christianity does to a lot of people. It puts them in the mindset of, you have to be a certain type of way, and you have to live a certain type of lifestyle in order to be a Christian. And it's not, it's it's mentally, physically, and emotionally toxic for everyone who is involved with that religion, um, whether they realize it or not. Um, but luckily for me, I managed to brute force my way out of all of that, um, and I became a pagan, and that's why I do tarot, and why I do oracle. That's also why I found the spiritual community and had my awakening, right? And it was amazing for me. And it was also terrible for me, because I went through a dark night of the soul of my own. And it was messy, and it was chaotic, and it was not fun. It wasn't fun for me at all. Um uh oh, and um the other thing was the inner child. The the Six of Cups had a specific message that went into the inner child, like we had in the last video that I did about the inner child, and I'm going to read that one out, um, especially because the message was very um unique, distinct, and I want you guys to hear what it had to say. If I can find it in the book. As I said in previous videos, this is one of those books that does not have a an index, so I have to go and find this in the book. But it's a little bit quicker this time. I found it. All right, so the um the words for this specific card, the I can't think of the word. Um, like I said, I'm doing this video over again because of my mistake. The spirits out there didn't like that I made this, it was gonna make this video, and really didn't like the message that it brought to you guys. So, and this video is probably going to be a lot quicker than the other video because that other video was nearly an hour long. So, this one might be, you know, this one's probably going to be shorter, but it could be just as long. Who knows? We'll see. We'll see. It's playtime. Taking a stroll down memory lane reminds you of childhood memories full of warmth and innocence. Reliving past memories makes you feel nostalgic for the good old days, free from stress and worry. The comfort and safety of your warm, happy-go-lucky memories is missing like a sore thumb in your day-to-day. You are wistful for familiarity, warmth, and simpler times. Responsibility can feel heavy as you grow older, and there is a wish to go back in time, reunite with your inner child, and let her or him or they, them, we don't discriminate here. All the LGBTQ community is welcome here. Um, and this is a place for all of you to express your opinions, your thoughts, and your feelings. You are definitely free to do that down in the comments. I'm not going to um be judgmental towards you guys, me being transgender myself. So, hey, um, reunite with your inner child and let her come out and play. Allow yourself to discover the world in a new way. Like a baby with fresh eyes, there is always room for more laughter and joy. Heart open, feel the purity of childhood innocence fill you up with inspiration and lighthearted fun. Right? And this is a message of don't take your work or your projects so seriously. Have fun with them. Get a little crazy. Let that inner child let that inner child imagination run wild with your work and your projects, no matter what they are. And no matter what people might say, you know. You might have some ideas that you're thinking this is not going to go over well with my audience. Well, if it's not going well over with your audience and it's an idea that you love, then maybe you need to start being more authentic to yourself and finding an audience that loves you for your authentic self and not just, specific types of content that you're making. I know the YouTube can be really brutal about that, you know. The YouTube community is definitely one of the most brutal um content community when it comes to content creation if you're not just 100% yourself. If you switch up your content in the middle of your YouTube channel's career, you're gonna hear about it. Um, so if you are making, YouTube content or you're working on a project, just remember to be 100% yourself all the time, and you won't have that problem. And even if you are in a situation where you've started a project or you've started a YouTube channel and you want to put more of your authentic self into it, but you're afraid to do it because of what you've already built up, I would say go for it. Um, they're people are going to leave, of course, but new people will come in who will love your new content just as much as the people who left. So don't be afraid to be yourself 100%. Never be afraid to be yourself. No matter what you're doing, no matter what, goals you have, no matter um what projects you have going on. regardless of what those projects are, have fun, go crazy. um, let that inner child, um, let that inner child imagination really take you, on a journey to self-discovery, right? Let them do it. Let that inner child go wild. So anyway, now we have the action card. That's what we were doing. We're doing an action card to see what type of actions we're going to be taking on these spiritual messages. And today's card is the new moon in Capricorn with your hard work is paying off, which is confirmation, right? The hard work that you're going through right now is paying off. So there's not a whole lot that you need to change, but as I said before, if you're looking to be more authentic with yourself, then, go for it. Always be your authentic self. But Spirit is saying that your hard work has paid off. You've done what you needed to do and it's paying off. Um there's not a whole lot that you need to change. There's not a whole lot more that you need to do. So give yourself a break, like in the reading before with these two, you know, don't be so hard on yourself, don't try to be so controlling. Your hard work has paid off for you. It's going to be okay. You can let go and let loose. You can loosen your grip on whatever projects or shadow work or emotional work or even therapy. You can loosen your grip a little bit, you know and not be so rigid and controlling uh with whatever it is you're doing. That's what spirit is trying to tell you right now. It's time to loosen your grip with your work. It's time to be more authentic to yourself. It's time to not, be that algorithm chaser that most YouTube content creators are. It's time to let that inner child um uh run free and wild and have that crazy imagination that we used to have as kids. That a lot of us lose in adulthood because we're told that we're supposed to be mature and we're supposed to act like adults and we're not supposed to be childish and we're not supposed to play like kids or um society has this crazy notion that having fun, you know, is not a mature thing to do. Um, when you're an adult, you're supposed to be serious and you're supposed to be, you know, the big bad leader. And the Matrix creates this idea that us being our most inner child and playing that out in adulthood is somehow just really bad for all of us. It's immature and it's you know, but in reality, um, letting that inner child out whenever letting that inner child out and free is the most mentally, emotionally, and physically healthy thing that you can do. Repressing your inner child, um, it's going to make your life miserable. It's going to make you miserable. Most of all, uh, and it won't be an easy thing to do to allow that inner child to run free at first. um, you will have a lot of self-esteem issues when it comes to being more childish, to having more childish fun, to having, to allowing that inner child to really take hold of you and show you, how much fun you can really have when you're not afraid of what society is going to think of you when you're acting childish, right? Um, and I think that's a part of, that's just one big part of shadow work. It's one big part of the awakened journey. It's just all, it's part of it. You have to learn that society is never going to be pleased. There's always going to be somebody that dislikes what you're doing, that dislikes the way that you're acting, that dislikes the way that you dress, that dislikes the way that you do your hair, that dislikes the way that you put on your makeup, right? There's always going to be somebody who hates what you're doing, no matter what it is. But you can't allow those people to convince you not to be your most authentic self. And and that's been a thing for me too. I I'm going to do a little bit of shadow work for myself here and discuss a topic that came up for me in a recent reading with concrete shamanism. Um a while back I had an encounter that was that was kind of a little bit traumatizing to me emotionally. So when I'm my most authentic self, I am usually a pretty passively flirty type of person. I like to passively flirt with people. That's just my that's just my personality. I'm just a very flirty type of person. And and of course, me being and having that authentic flirty personality, people started to think that I was into them. And then they got angry when they figured out that I wasn't actually into them, that I was just being myself, that was just my normal personality. But it made a lot of people very angry with me. And being the people pleaser that I was back then, um, of course, my mind, the first thing that it did was cut that part of myself off and threw it to the side, right? We're going to no longer, uh, uh we're not going to allow that part of myself to uh appear anymore. We're going to cut it off, we're going to throw it away. And ever since then, I've regretted that choice, but I've been too nervous and too afraid to integrate that part of myself back into the true self, back into my true self. And I've been very nervous to integrate it back into me in order to be my truest self. Because of all of the hate um and the anger that it caused so many different people towards me. All of the drama and the the emotional uh the emotional mm, I wouldn't say abuse, more like emotional manipulation that was going on during that time back then. When I was just my natural, passively flirty self. Because I am very naturally a sensual type of person. being transgender, you know, I carry with me a very divine masculine and a very divine feminine. So having both of those aspects come out inside of me being transgender, my sensuality is just through the roof. But having that experience, that disconnect with my sensuality and my natural passively flirty self, just you know, it cut that part of me off. And I've been ignoring it for years now, and because of uh other things that are very similar to that. My fear of rejection, my fear of being, yeah, being truly 100% myself again, and having everybody around me just throw me to the wolves, you know. Um, I have a fear of being alone, of being on my own, and that's another thing that I need to come to terms with. And I believe, and I know it's probably something that a lot of you need to come to terms with. The not being able to be alone with yourself, which is something that I'm definitely working on. Um, I am being more in silence with my thoughts and with myself during meditation, and during my workouts, um, so that so that I can um, be alone with myself and not, you know, freak out mentally or emotionally, to not have that anxiety of my thoughts are going to spiral down into the abyss, right? Which is, what I used to believe would happen if I was completely alone in silence with myself. Which is just, another limiting belief that I created, another reality that I created for myself. Because when I finally did start, you know, getting alone with myself and in silence and with meditation, I found that I enjoyed it. I actually very much enjoyed the silence. I actually very much enjoyed being just alone with myself. And if you have thoughts of that, and if you have thoughts that being alone with yourself is going to lead to you spiraling down into depression and uh, just negative thoughts, I challenge you to actually go and do it for 10 minutes. I challenge you to do it. You know, and it doesn't have to be 100% silence. You can put on some, um, ambient music, but nothing with lyrics, nothing with, heavy beats, you know, nothing like that. Just, some meditative type of types of music, and you can do, um, ocean waves or waterfalls, you can do river running, whatever, whatever, suits you. Um, but I challenge you to do 10 minutes. Go 10 minutes. Just 10 minutes. Just be silent with yourself, with your thoughts, with your emotions, and watch how your mind just doesn't do anything at all. Watch how those thoughts that you thought you had just disappear. Okay, because that's what happened for me. When I finally got up the courage to be in silence with myself, the thoughts and the emotions, they just disappeared. All the thoughts disappeared. All the emotions disappeared. All of the limiting beliefs that I had, that I would spiral down into this abyss of negative thoughts, just disappeared. And it was me, just me and the moment. Just me in the moment. And it was pure, peaceful bliss. Let me tell you, I have never felt anything like it. It's amazing. It's an amazing feeling. So yeah, I really encourage you and challenge you to do that for yourself. Turn everything off, except for, if you're playing, some type of meditative sounds for yourself. If you don't want to be 100% in silence. But yeah, turn everything off and just be with yourself and see how peaceful it truly feels. Because I know, as someone who for the longest time believed that the best way to deal with my depression and my gender dysphoria is to constantly keep my mind busy on something else. Um, it is not the best choice, and it is not a good decision at all. The best choice that I ever made was to finally just be in the silence and be with myself in that silence. But yeah, that will that's gonna be it for today's video. I like I said, had to do this twice now because the spirits really didn't want this message going out today. They really didn't want me putting this message out to you. So they made me unconsciously delete the first video. But anyway, if you did like this video, leave a like. Um, leave a comment down below. Let me know your opinion. Um, give me your stories. Let me know about your stories. I would love to read what where you are in your awakened journey, and I would love to hear your stories about the Dark Knight, and and all of that. So leave a comment down below and let me know. Let me you know see what you're going through. I always love to read people's stories of awakening. I think they're so unique and amazing, and I think there's a lot of synchronicities in those stories as well. But yeah, I hope this video has earned your subscription, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.